One who inspired millions of fans.
Zoe, Zoe, Zoe!
We lost one of our greats, and I don't just mean that by what he did on the court, but just the way he lived his life.
He was going on this journey with his daughter, and I think we could all feel that it was going somewhere special.
Just to watch her play, it was like watching a young Kobe.
He had the mentality that he was the best or is going to be the best.
We still are the best duo ever created.
He will live forever in this city, and I am happy to have shared a small part of his life.
We are back here at Staples Center remembering Kobe Bryant. Now joining us, Brian Shaw, who won 3 titles with Kobe. Matt Barnes, rival turned friend of Kobe, played with him for 2 years. Before we get into a discussion with these two, a little breaking news for you. Mark Spears of The Undefeated reporting that in the All-Star game, Team LeBron is going to wear the number 2 for Gianna, all the players.
Wow.
And that Team Giannis will wear the number 24, of course, for Kobe Bryant. So a lot of us have been hoping that those numbers would get some play in the All-Star game, and they're going to be there on Sunday. That is very, very special. Brian, look, people think that you became teammates with Kobe and got to know him around 1999. That's not true. When did you first meet Kobe Bryant?
I first met him in 1989 playing in Italy against his father.
Wow.
And, you know, he was a 10, 11-year-old kid running around on the court, getting in everybody's way, challenging everybody to play one-on-one and play horse. And so that's how far back it goes.
I'm shocked to hear that he was getting into everything. I can't believe that. And he obviously trying to emulate all of you guys. I remember hearing stories about that. But when he was in high school even, you had a conversation with him where he forecast his NBA future?
Yeah, we went to the finals in 94-95 season with Orlando. He was a big fan of Penny Hardaway, and Jelly Bean brought him to one of the games. And he was a junior in high school, and he said, next year I'm going to be playing against you. And I was like, you know, he had grown to be my height.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen him in a while. He was a skinny kid.
Wait, this was when he was a junior, by the way, not even a senior.
And on top of that, he said, you know, I even thought about foregoing my senior year of high school, which has never been done.
Come get you, huh?
Yeah, so.
And at the time, you're like, yeah, whatever, kid.
Yeah, and then, you know, next year I saw the press conference where he, you know, said he was foregoing college and going to enter an NBA draft. And I was like, wow, he told me that a year ago that he was going to be doing that, and now he is.
I love the story of you and how you and Kobe became close and you became teammates with him, because what everyone really associates you with Kobe is that flinch moment, right? When you were rivals and the trash you talked against each other.
People are still mad at me about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing it on social media, like, you know, so-and-so, F you, he didn't flinch. I'm just like, and if you would just listen to the whole situation, understand. But like I said, we were just super competitive. You know what I mean? It was, you know, we had mutual respect for each other. But then, like I said, after that situation went down, you know, I was talking to Miami Heat and Pat Riley about joining LeBron, D-Wade, and them. And then Kobe hits me. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, do I go to Miami with this super team, or do I come home and play with Kobe and play with my favorite team? And that's when I came home, and, you know, we became brothers from there.
You guys were very close when you guys played together. Can you explain to be a teammate of Kobe Bryant and hear all the time in practice, in text messages, anything else, just that competitiveness always, even about situations, it shouldn't be like that, right?
Well, I think we saw 2 completely different Kobes. You know, he got him at the very beginning, you know, and I got him after, you know, he had been seasoned a little bit, so.
Yeah, I had number 8, you had number 24.
All right, well, let's start with 8, because he was the warrior.
Well, 8 was raw, but the one thing that was consistent about him was his preparation. And especially when he knew that he was going to be playing against the guys who were supposed to be, you know, his competition as the best players in the league, whether it be LeBron, D-Wade, Melo, whoever at that time, he would come to the film room and say, I want every touch from each one of these guys that I'm getting ready to play 2 weeks before we would play them.
Really?
To prepare for them and everything that he would need to do. And so to me, that's what stuck with me, his preparation, his discipline to, you know, to his craft. And when it came down, he was a consummate pro in every aspect of it. And so you hear people talk about his demeanor on the court, his competitiveness, but it started with the preparation. And he believed that if you prepare over and over and give yourself a lot of repetitions, there's never a situation that's too big for you because you've prepared for it and you've done it so many times already.
One thing that always struck me about him in covering him was that he really didn't believe in giving anyone mercy.
No.
Especially, if, you would think most guys, oh, he's a younger kid, or I'm on his team, or any of that. And to him, not doing that was about, hey, you got to raise your standards. I'm not going to give you a pass here.
Yeah, no, we had a situation out in Santa Barbara at his basketball camp where I'm coming back off I tore my meniscus with them the first year. We're coming back the second year after Phil left. And I'm out there. He's like, all right, we got to play 2-on-2. I'm like, well, man, I'm all right. I'm not really knowing what I'm getting into. And we're going out there, and he is backing down kids, blocking shots, dunking on them, blocking their shots. And I'm kind of just sitting back kind of watching like, this is playoff mode Kobe, right? And these kids are little, like falling down, didn't care, no mercy.
I was there, too.
Okay.
There was a kid that they called the White Mamba.
Yeah.
He challenged him.
Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
And I said, you good? He's like, man, get them. Like, there's no. He said a few explicit, but like, basically he's saying nothing easy here. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell the Shark story, please?
Yeah, so we had training camp in Santa Barbara, and everybody knows I love to fish.
Yes.
So he said he wanted to come fishing with me. I called him about 6 o'clock in the morning. I went down to the beach. He didn't end up coming.
Okay.
So I caught some sharks and some stingrays right from the bank, and I took pictures of them, and then I texted them to him, and I said, look, see what you missed this morning? And he texted back and said, what did you do with them? And I said, I just took a picture with him and I threw him back in the water. And he said to me, why did you do that? And I said, well, what was I supposed to do? He said, you were supposed to kill them. They got caught. That's their fault, so you're supposed to kill them. But that was his mentality. It didn't matter.
The price those sharks pay.
That's right.
Kill or be killed.
You took the wrong bait. You got caught. Now you got to pay the price.
And Matt, you saw him, as you said, more toward the second half and in some unguarded moments as he was dealing with things in his life and dealing with, look, he was the most dominant player in the league for a while and then having to phase out and get older like the rest of us do. How did you see him handle that as a team?
Well, you know what I mean? Because obviously it's all mental for him. His mental toughness is second to none, So we were both going through a lot of personal stuff, and he actually got a little condo at the top of the Ritz right across the street. And we used to take these tunnels underneath and go right up to his room, hang out, drink, have a couple drinks, and then decide we're going to go dinner or what we're going to do that night. And it was just really, like you said, unfiltered, vulnerable time for both of us, and that's when we leaned on each other. Like I said, we talked about life, we talked about our relationships, we talked about kids, we talked about life after. He was just a regular dude when you got a chance to get him to open up.
Yeah, and look, the thing about Kobe is he always was curious. He always wanted to learn more, and that's something I think we don't talk about enough. When someone thinks they're as good as Kobe Bryant thought he was, a lot of those kinds of people, they don't want to hear anything from anyone else, right? They don't think they can learn anything more. The way I do it is the good way to do it, but he was always asking questions and always introspective, and especially in transition moments of his life.
I just think, obviously later on, because you hear so many different things about it, the younger Kobe. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to know. I was a fan of that player. I got a chance to know the older guy, and along the way, it's what's best for everybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It wasn't so much about him anymore, although he was still the focal point. It's about what's best and what is it going to take to bring these guys together to get me another championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you both. Matt, we'll see you a little bit later in the show. Brian, thank you so much for being with us,
Thanks
sharing those memories. I'm picturing 10-year-old Kobe running around you guys. That is really, really amazing. Coming up, we are going to place Kobe historically among the all-time greats. And here is our next Mamba moment. We're going to be doing these all show. This highlight is from when Kobe took over Game 4 of the 2000 finals. Take a listen.
Shaking on Miller and hitting a two-point basket. He was just inside the line. Shaw running one-hander, followed in by Kobe Bryant.
Again, offensive rebounds.
Going down the stretch, Shaq goes down, all of a sudden you step up. These are the kind of moments that you look for, aren't they?
Yeah, when Shaq fouled out, my mind state was, this game just became an awful lot more interesting than it was. And it was just fun for me. I laughed about it, just went out and played relaxed as if I was in a back.